Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about plastic surgery and rhinoplasty in specific, and I'm going to just be talking about pretty much my personal experience on it and just how to get prepared for it, the recovery process, and the final results and all that. So first of all, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it if you want to get it done, but I think it's really important that you love yourself the way you are. So if you don't get the surgery, you're still happy with the way you look and everything. Personally, if I wouldn't have gotten my nose surgery, I think I would have been all right. I would have been happy with the way I looked. And I actually thought I was really, really cute before my surgery. So, me getting surgery wasn't something like I begged my parents. It was just kind of like an opportunity that came along the way. And so I pretty much just took it. But I think people should definitely love the way they look, and they shouldn't obsess, with trying to change something about themselves, because I think that's probably not the best solution. Because if you really hate the way you look and then you get surgery to fix it and then it turns out bad or you don't like it, then you're just gonna be miserable, because you're gonna be like, oh, I hate the way I look and I shouldn't have done this. So that's my number one thing. Another thing is that I think that if you do have the money to get surgery, then you also should have the money just in case something goes wrong and you need to go back and fix it. Then I think you should have the money for that as well. Or sometimes surgeries go wrong, and so I think it's important to have money just in case it does go wrong. Then you're able to take care of that, because some people will save years for a surgery, and then at the end they either don't like it or expectations were right here and the reality was right here. And so what do you do when that happens? Well, some people go back and try to get it fixed or whatever, because plastic surgeons aren't perfect, so you're not always going to come out with the best of results. So I just think it should be kind of like a thing that you can afford and that's in your realm. I don't think it should be something that is kind of out of your reach and you have to save your whole life to get surgery. So that's my other thing on it. And then my other thing is Christian people will be like, oh, well, do you not like what Jesus created you as or whatever? And with that, I will say I think everyone changes something about themselves every day. If you loved so much the way Jesus made you, you wouldn't pluck your eyebrows, you wouldn't wear makeup, you wouldn't spend hundreds of dollars, to look nice. So I think that's just kind of a double standard. So preparing yourself for surgery, personally, I didn't really prepare myself. I kind of knew I was just gonna get it within a year, and it was just something that was in the back of my mind. I literally never even thought about it. Once I actually went to the spot where I was gonna go get surgery, I went to the doctor's office, let's say on a Monday, and then I got my surgery on a Thursday. So that was pretty much my preparing time. And I wasn't nervous or anything. And again, this is where loving the way you look plays a part of, I guess, because I was okay, if I don't get it, whatever. But I liked the way I look, so knowing that I was gonna get surgery, I was thinking oh, well, it's only gonna enhance the way I look now. So it wasn't really a big deal to me. I remember going into the doctor's office and he took pictures of me, and I had to get x-rays. And when he took the profile picture of me, I remember he put it on Photoshop and he kind of showed me what he was gonna do to it and stuff. And so that was cool. That was like preparing myself, I guess. And then in the x-rays, it actually showed up that I couldn't really breathe good out of one nostril. So then, you know, he told me about that and he fixed that, which was crazy because I never even knew that. I think it should just kind of be like an easy thing. I mean, yes, you get a little bit nervous once you're actually, you know, in the room and they're about to take you in the surgery room, but I don't think it should be something you're really scared about, because if it is, then it's probably something that you shouldn't get done. So the day of my surgery, I remember I didn't have to, or I couldn't eat for 24 hours. I kind of had to be like fasting. So I actually went into my room, I think it was like 3 hours prior to my surgery. I just remember laying in like my room, in my bed. They put the IV in me, which hurt really bad. And I was just there chilling, watching TV, talking to my parents, whatever. And then when the time actually came, I remember they rolled me into the surgery room and I was still awake by then. And then I just remember saying, or I think they said something along the lines of like, okay, here we go, blah, blah, blah. And they put the mask on me, they took it off. Well, I don't remember that, but I just remember they put the mask on me and I fell asleep. And the next time I woke up, now this is a crazy story, but the next time I kind of woke up, I was still in the surgery room, but so I was laying down. Obviously I was getting surgery done, and I was under local anesthesia. I think that's what it's called, where they don't put you to sleep completely. So I don't know, I have to do more research on that. But anyway, so I remember kind of like waking up a little, not opening my eyes, but waking up a little and hearing voices in the background. And it was obviously the doctors that were talking and stuff. And then I felt the doctor kind of like hammer my nose. And I mean, it didn't cause me pain because obviously I was under anesthesia, but it was pretty scary, and I kind of started to panic. I was like, oh my God, what if I start feeling like all this pain and stuff? And so I remember I made like a noise. And then I remember the doctor saying like, oh, we're almost done. And so in my panic, I was like, oh, heck no. So I really tried to go back to sleep, because I was like, if I'm awake for more than a minute, I'm literally gonna start screaming. So I went back to sleep, and the next time I woke up was in my room. And I remember kind of just like sitting up like this, and my mom came to me and she kind of just asked like how I was feeling and stuff. And I remember I was just like shedding tears, and I had like a gauze under my nose just to stop the bleeding. And I mean, I cried just because it was like an overwhelming feeling, and I was feeling like weak and tired. It wasn't really like I was in pain, because I really wasn't in pain. It was just very uncomfortable. So I remember like just kind of like shedding tears. But then I remember going home that night and eating like a plate of seafood. So obviously I was pretty good after a few hours. I wasn't in any pain at all. I remember I just did have to take painkillers and stuff like that. But yeah. So for the recovery process, I remember after I went home that day after my surgery, I kind of was just on bed rest for about, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 weeks, because this was 5 years ago. So I got my nose job when I was 16. So honestly, it was a long time ago. So I vaguely remember. So I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 weeks, but I went in for a checkup and he kind of took the tape off my nose. I didn't really get to see it. I don't think I got to see it. Or maybe I think I did. But it was like swollen and stuff, so I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, oh, well, this is not what it's gonna look like, so whatever. And then he put the tape back on. And then after that, I came back to my home here in Mexico City. And I still had to wear the tape around my nose for like a month. And then I had to, every week I had to put a new one on and stuff. And my face is so greasy that after a week, once I would take it off, it was just like so disgusting. At this one point, my mom took it off and I went to see what I looked like in the mirror. And it was weird. honestly, it was really weird to see my nose. I was like, ooh, it's like so pointy. And then I got a little bit scared because I was like, oh my God, you can see up my nostrils. But my old nose, it was very droopy. So obviously like you couldn't see my nostrils. So then I got scared when I could see them. And then another thing I realized was that my cheeks looked a lot bigger. And I mean, obviously because my nose got smaller. And my upper lip looked smaller just because I guess when it was droopy, it kind of created a shadow or whatever. And like now there was more space. I don't know, it was kind of weird to see my face. But then I still had to wear the tape for like a month and, you know, go out and do normal things with the little tape. So I would still put like makeup on it so you couldn't see it and stuff. But I mean, it was just weird. I really couldn't see my nose. So then once I actually took the tape off and I was just, you know, back to my normal life, I did like the way I looked, but I was like, oh my gosh, it just looks so different. And it kind of I had to get used to it, and I kind of had to do my makeup differently as well, just because it was like a different face. So, you know, everyone has a way of doing their makeup. And so I just had to kind of get used to that. But honestly, I really, really liked the way it looked. But now when I look back at it, the doctor told me that within a year, I would see like the final nose, like, you know, the final result. And which was true, because now when I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I look so weird. And I think after a year was when I actually like started settling into my nose and it looked like normal, because, you know, a few months after, I just feel like you could tell I got like surgery because it was just so small and pointy and like so cute. And so it just looked kind of weird. But after a year was like the final results. I liked the way my nose looked. You know, I looked normal. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about my personal experience. I really do like the way it looks now. I do think my cheeks look still a little bit big, and I wish I could like do something, you know, but I'm not. But yeah, I hope this helps some of y'all, you know, for people that are thinking about getting surgery in the future, or even people that have already gotten surgery. It's kind of cool to see, you know, the different perspectives and stuff like that. If y'all have any questions, y'all can definitely comment or send me an email or whatever. But I hope this was helpful, and till next time.